Hey everyone, welcome to the VR CEO podcast, sponsored by the amazing VR conferencing and education tool, Roomy. Woohoo! Why meet when you can Roomy? Get it? Roomy? Pretty awesome. Good stuff. 3, 2, 1, and we're live. Hey Jared, thanks for swinging by, man. Appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
Of course, yeah. Really happy to have you here, man. Been checking out your UpDownLeftDie Twitch stream. It's completely bananas. It's pretty cool, actually. And yeah, man. It's for sure. So I just wanted to talk to you and find out, like, what's your journey? Like, how did you get here? And really, nothing's off the table. Just we'll start there, and we'll just kind of see where it goes.
All right. Well, I guess if you want to go all the way back to the beginning, we could go back into like how when I was a kid, I was always interested in computers. My dad, got me a computer when I was young. I remember like back in the dial-up ages, we had 2 computers sitting next to each other, so me and my brother could use them. So like that was like completely unheard of. I didn't really know that at the time or really fully appreciate that. But I've always knew I was going to do something with computers. In high school, I was the kid when the teacher's projector, whatever didn't work, Jared, fix it. And so everyone always kind of knew it, and I always just like was that guy. Skip ahead, got into college for computer science. Started going to like an archery club just for fun, and that's where my co-streaming partner Tiffany. That's where we met. We met at archery club, and we actually turned out we were in the same major. So then we eventually just kind of became best friends by hanging out and having like same classes together. And that was kind of like this weird thing where like we started hanging out more and more. Eventually we played like Portal 2 together, and we thought like that was really fun. We had like such a great time. And then one day we were both kind of in between jobs, and we're like, hey, let's stream that. And so we streamed us playing games together, and that was kind of the starting of our Twitch channel. And then I got a job at a software engineer company where they had a Vive, and I was like, let me try this. And I was like sucked in. Like I lost like 2 hours. Like I don't even know. I don't even know how long I was in there. I was just like just lost in it. And then I was like, I want to get one. So I dropped my first paycheck on the Vive. We eventually started streaming Vive stuff, VR stuff, and that was kind of like that's how we got started. That's how I got started, at least.
Cool, awesome. I love that story. I love that. One thing I love is like, everyone asks me, as an entrepreneur, hey, how do I do this? I'm like, well, just do it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
There's the secret. Boom, you got it. You don't need to read a book. Like, just freaking do it, man. It's that simple. So archery and computer science totally makes sense. Like, right? Like those are like peanut butter and jelly. I mean,
yeah, totally.
what in the hell? What were you doing? I love archery, by the way. I think that's super cool.
Yeah.
But like,
it's fun.
What were you guys shooting hard drives? Like, what were you doing?
I mean, it was just like, I was just like, that sounds cool. I never did that before. And there was a club for it. So I was like, I want to go to there. And so me and my friend from high school, who was at the same college as me, we just like, let's just show up and see what it's about. And that was like, there's a bunch of other kids there. And just one of them happened to be, friends that I'm still hanging out with, not besides Tiffany, but as a few other people. So it was just, it's just college club looking for something cool to do. I've always thought it was an interesting sport. Like, how does it work? And it was just a lot of fun. It does help out, though. That knowledge does carry over to a lot of the VR games. So that was the first VR thing I played, was the lab and the archery mode. And that's where I was just like totally lost in that. It felt right. Like the draw felt the same. You had to like draw the arrow to your eyes. And I was like, so cool to use the physical skill in VR. It was like the most amazing thing.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's funny because I am not at all exaggerating. I also got lost in that thing. Everybody did, right? The archery game was like that. Everything else is kind of like, yeah, this is cool, whatever. These are kind of like, the archery game was awesome. I sweat so much inside my Vive. It got pretty gross, actually.
Yeah.
But it was fun.
Yeah, it was like I did all the other ones, and they're like, oh, they're neat experiences, but that one just felt so good, and it felt so fun, and it was like that progressive realization of how much VR can do, because you're like, oh, neat, oh, cool, I picked it up. Like the first time I played the lab was like, hit the start button, and you're like trying to click on it, and then you realize you have to walk over and like press the button, and that like blew my mind. And then it's like, how do I pick up that bow? You walk over and pick it up. And it's like, how do I shoot the arrow? And you're like, oh, you have to notch the arrow. And it was like every step of the way was like just incredible. And then like shooting the guys, you're like, oh, you actually have to arc it. And you have to pull it to your eye, and it helps if you aim properly. And then knowing that you could like lean over the edge and shoot down, like, and you felt like Legolas. Like it was just, oops. but it was just like so crazy.
No worries, man. Yeah,
Also,
it
you
was.
warp around the room.
You're so excited. It's like, I just got to
Yeah,
get out of here, man.
yeah.
I got to get the. Yeah, I got to run around and
But
tell you
yeah,
about this.
just totally like that was just like that. Every step of the way was like the like when you're like realizing like the limitations of Vive are pretty far out there. You could do so much before you start hitting those limitations of those walls. So just like that was a pretty good sandbox for that discovery process. Was just like crazy in there.
Awesome, man. Yeah, it's cool. It's funny when I was telling, or I throw my friends in my Vive or whatever, and I put them in that game because people were
Yeah,
having kind of a hard time like figuring it out because it's so new, and like even how to get there. And they would ask me, so how do I pick up the bow? I'm like, well, how do you pick up a bow in real life? Like reach
yeah,
down. Yeah, and it was funny because people were like, yes, if I saw a bow in real life, I would just cognitively process, oh, I must bend down and pick that up, and
yeah, yeah.
and it's funny like how it's such a crawl, walk, run, But
Yeah.
now, I mean, Jesus, like we've been doing this forever.
Yeah,
It's so
it's like
natural now.
yeah, same thing. And the lab is like so good for exposing new people to stuff. So I put my parents in there who like never played a video game. They don't get it. They're barely like or like well, my dad's pretty good at computers, but my mom is like doesn't get computers or whatever. And I was like, check this out, play this thing. And it's the same thing where they're like, how do I go there? I'm like, well, you could walk there. You could physically walk there as long as you don't walk into the wall, but it's within range. You just step over there. Or you warp around, and that's the weird thing. They have to kind of get the controls, but there's only 5 buttons on the Vive wand, so it's like really easy, like that one and that one. And then she did the those photo experiences that are like you're walking around like Nova Scotia or whatever, but the dog is there, and she just had so much fun just throwing the stick over, and she wasn't paying attention to like the photorealistic. You're in a different country, like go fetch. I'm like, well, the dog is just a prop, but no, she just loved it. She kept petting it. It was just so funny. But my mom, like you said, crawl, run, walk, or crawl, rock, run. She did it in like 10 minutes. Like it was so fast between like not knowing anything about video games to playing fetch with the dog and warping around and exploring. And it was just kind of a funny experience. And I was like, there's other things. Oh no, you're gonna keep playing the dog. There's oh, okay, more fetch. Okay, it's like she didn't even care about the other stuff. She was just so immersed with this fake pet thing that doesn't even look like a real dog, but she just loved the way it like wagged and rolled over. It was just so funny.
That always like made me kind of crazy. I was like, why does this thing look like a weird bean with legs? This
Yeah.
robotic bean with legs. Why isn't it a dog? Why didn't they make it a dog? But anyway, it was cool. It was fun.
Yeah.
So we will eventually get to your podcast, Up Down Left Eye.
For sure.
I'm gonna
sure.
load that up real quick. But one thing, it's crazy. I want to talk about this with you actually because I think you'll definitely get this. Is I'm gonna load your logo real quick.
Okay.
Cool, and we'll get to that in a second. I love your
Sure.
name. It's so
Thank
perfect.
you.
But anyway, yeah. Uh, one crazy thing is talking about that crawl, walk, run approach.
Yeah.
There's been all this, relatively recently, like past few months, there's been all this conversation around, are we living in a simulation? Elon Musk said all this stuff,
Yeah.
all these astrophysicists, everybody's talking about it. And it's funny because you and I are kind of in the business of that, right? It's like, well, we're
Mhm.
literally in the business of making you, like tricking your brain to think you're living in a simulation. And it's great. I think about that now. You know what I mean? Like it felt like a flat earther. Like, what the hell are you talking about? And now I'm like, oh, this is really crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and the technology of VR is advancing so fast too, or it's just like my headset's already obsolete, and I'm like, this thing's garbage. It's like not even as good as the new one, and it's like, and the rate at which we're trying to solve the problems, like movement. That's obviously like one of the biggest problems at the moment is walking
Mhm.
around and like moving around, and it's like there's some pretty clever solutions for that, and people are just trying to crack that because that's one of the hurdles of to me VR of it being like super consumer ready like for literally for anyone is like get rid of the controllers and get rid of the invisible walls. If you get rid of those things, it's just you put it on like your grandma could do it, and that's just the one thing
Mhm.
that's like stopping people is like I have to hold this weird controller and it has buttons that I can't see. That's the biggest problem I see from new people is they can't see the buttons, and you're like the top one. Which one? The top one. You get rid of that,
Mhm.
and then you also simultaneously solve the walking around problem too. All of a sudden, you break down like the two of the biggest barriers, and it just like explodes.
Totally. I'm telling you, yeah, you're absolutely right about that. it's interesting. You know, everybody's like, oh, you know, VR's. I've heard this for 3 years, right? Like VR's dead.
Yeah.
It's not going anywhere. Come on, man. It's the next for sure the next computing platform, because we are literally in the big brick cell phone that, you know, Michael Douglas was, you know,
Yeah.
holding in Wall Street, right? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
that's where we are. And I'm telling you, you know, it's pretty close to Moore's law, right? Like it's advancing about every 18 months or so. I think it might be a little faster than that actually, but you know, we've got. I love my Oculus Go. You know, it's only a 3 degree of freedom controller. You know, it's not connected to a computer. I love my Vive. My Vive is amazing. My Oculus Rift's incredible. It's very different experiences, highly immersive. But we've already got 6 degree of freedom, 6 off. You know, standalone HMDs already.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good for what it is. But I totally agree. It's the brick thing. It's not many people have it. When I'm streaming VR, some people come in, they go, "What is that?" And I'm like, "Well, it's a Vive." And they're like, "Oh, how much is it?" My wife or my husband want to get it. And I'm like, "Okay, it's pretty cool, but like if you're just a normal person, I like hold off. Just like this is first gen. Never buy first gen unless you know what you're getting into. Like
Unless you're an idiot like us, right?
Yeah. I mean, my thing is that we're trying to show it off. We're the ones that are pushing it forward. So I'm like, I got to get on it early. And so I'm like totally like, it's awesome for what it is, but wait until the third generation. That's going to be fully wireless. It's going to have no cable. It's going to be eye tracking, hand tracking. You know, it's going to be so much better than what it is right now. Like right now, I'm tethered with a cable, and the cable is such a downer. I always trip over it when I'm playing Beat Saber. I almost kill myself. But like that's what it is. That's what it is right now. It's the cell phones with the little antenna you have to extend. Otherwise, you can't answer a phone call. You know, it's like it just sucks. But it's so exciting to see where it has the potential to go.
I can't wait until VR becomes retro and everyone's like, you know what, man, that untethered VR, I want a tethered, I want to be retro. I want tethered VR. I want to be connected to an old school computer. I can't wait until we reach that.
This is the N64. I can't believe I got rid of it. It was so
totally, man, totally. You know, one thing that frustrates me about VR is what I'm going to do right now is I can't drink coffee or booze in my HMD. So hold on, I gotta look for my. I put a giant straw. I actually connected 2 straws together. And what is this? This is like a $4 Chateau Saint Michelle gas station wine Riesling. Hold on, one sec. Problem solved. Yeah. So there you go. You know, so that you want to raise $20 million for your next adventure. Solve that problem.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, that'll get funded.
Well, that was like the thing too with the trackers. They're supposed to be able to like put it on stuff and then bring those into the world, but I haven't really seen that yet. I have trackers. I mostly just use it to track a camera, but I'm like, why can't I put it on my cup or my cat and see those things in VR yet? So that was what we were promised, and still haven't really seen that come to fruition either.
Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. It's coming. So I actually had a brainstorm with a good friend of mine. He's a doctor. I call him Dr. Colonel Tony Milliken. So he's a colonel in the U.S. Army.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and he's a really, really good dude, but he bought this URL, VR Wine Club. And he had this amazing idea I won't give it away, he's going to be on the podcast, but how to use the trackers to do wine tastings. I just said, dude, I am in. Because I've been waiting for this, right?
Yeah. It sounds interesting. So, like, is it going to be like a service where they mail it out ahead of time and then everyone can wine taste at the same time with the trackers?
Yeah, he's going to do all that. It's basically like a wine club. Yeah. And then you can do it's a guy's a really interesting dude. I mean, I think he's a sommelier as well. He's crazy, intelligent, cool dude. Yeah. And so he knows like everything about wine. He's like, Chacon, dude, you got to stop drinking the gas station wine, man. You got to, and Melissa Smith, she owns Marketing Eye. In Australia. I think it's marketingeye.com.au or something like that, whatever it is. Really, really interesting lady. And she was, you know, basically giving me the beat down on my gas station wine as well. So they will correct me of those faults very, very soon. Yeah. Well, so tell us about Up, Down, Left Eye. Like what is this all about?
Okay. Well, like I said, so it just kind of basically became, it was out of just kind of this organic thing between me and my best friend. We were like, we're between jobs, let's try to make our own while we're looking or whatever. You know, we both just quit and we're like, let's try this thing. It was a lot of fun, and so let's try it. So we the day we're going to stream, we were like, okay, we got to pick a name, and so we just ran through all these names and all these names. We even picked the name, made the account, and then we were like, I don't know, that doesn't feel right. So like, okay, let's go back to the drawing board. And then like I just all of a sudden had like a spur of inspiration. I just wrote down a bunch of names, and then I kind of secretly picked one, and then I read them off to Tiffany, and she's like, I like that up down left die one, and I was like, that was the one I also picked. So kind of like a secret needle in the haystack. So the fact that she picked the same one, I was like, okay, let's run with that. And so because it's like I have a test for like names and like stuff like that. It's like, can you imagine a logo? Does another person imagine the same logo? Can you see it? Can you like all these things? And so like the fact that like the name is pretty obvious. Everyone comes with the same logo idea. So we just like I felt like we just really nailed it. The name kind of comes from like a lot of people take it as different things. Some people think it's like the Konami code. Some people are like it's like a fighting game or whatever. For me personally, it actually is like the idea of like putting in a code in Grand Theft Auto 3 or Vice City specifically when I was a kid, and then dying before you put in the health code. And I think that was part of one of the codes for Grand Theft Auto. So that's where I comes from specifically, but it kind of works on anything. Like for like a fighting game, maybe you're trying to do a combo and you get killed, and so it kind of works off. Or like we're not trying to be good at games, we're trying to be funny. So the name is you're putting in a thing and then you die, and that's kind of what our whole thing is. We're funny at games. We may not be good at them. And so that's kind of where that started out. So our main goal is to entertain people on Twitch, but we also have some YouTube, Instagram content that we also are proud of. And we just hopefully make someone laugh. That's our main goal, is like make someone laugh, make their day. And that was kind of our initial thing. And we've been running with that for a little bit over 2 years now and just absolutely love it. I keep hitting those move buttons.
I think you might be a closet close talker. I think that's what's going on
maybe.
here.
It's subconsciously
bubble,
I'm moving
buddy.
around.
Hey man, personal bubble. No, it's all good. It's all good. Let me just check the record. All right, cool. Yeah, we actually have a guy that I run this with, my good friend Eric Parks. And I mean, when I started this thing, like less than a week ago, it completely exploded. Had to start a new company, hire a production assistant.
For sure.
He's supposed to be here running like the desktop sharing widgets. We can bring up your Insta and all that. But I mean, I think he did get into a car accident. It was slack ass. Should have left his car there, taking an Uber over here. So anyway,
how dare
he's usually, I know, how dare, come on, Eric. Jeez, boo, Eric, come on, man, do better next time. Anyway, he's usually here, but so exactly, cry me a river, buddy. Car accident. Jesus, can't take an Uber or a Lyft. Come on. Anyway, no big deal, no big deal. So he's dealing with that right now. So he would normally kind of load all this up. So I can't run the screen share widget currently from VR. We will be able to do that. We're working on that, but it's kind of a soup sandwich doing that in VR. So anyway, I wanted to load this up, right? Just show your website. Go to UpDownLeftDie.com, right? And people can check out I'm assuming your Insta is also UpDownLeftDie.
Yeah, we pretty much got if you just Google search us, you'll find pretty much everything you need to know about us. But our website's kind of our hub. It has, if you could find all the links to everything else on there as well. But yeah.
Excellent. And this is your co-host, right, Tiffany? I picked the best photo I could find of her.
Yeah, Tiffany. Absolutely. Definitely the best photo. She's going to love that.
I bet. I think what she's going to love is this. So I turned the whiteboard on, but I think what she's going to love is I'm going to give her a little Pancho Villa mustache here. And let me just put that up there. I think she looks a little bit better with that, and I want to give her like maybe a little beard, and how about like some red Harry Potter glasses in red? I think she can rock those pretty good. Nice.
Yeah.
Looking good.
She actually just got prescription glasses for the first time in her life just recently, so she's missing that. She needed that.
Oh, so it's basically that then. That's I think what she looks like, right? When she walks around in the city. Yeah. Okay, cool. Much. Awesome. Yeah, looking good. Awesome. Too bad you couldn't join us, Tiffany. But she's running the channel right now, isn't she?
Yeah, I think she's streaming some cosplay that she's starting tonight.
Awesome.
Yes, she's kind of the more artistic side of the stream, and I'm more the technical side. So we kind of split it in that way. Where like, she likes to do like Kingdom Hearts, PS4, cosplay, and drawing, and then I'm more of the technical. I do some live coding,
Cool.
I do most of like the setup and all that, and kind of run the stream and the strategic planning and stuff.
Okay, cool, man. Yeah. How did you come to those decisions, by the way? It always fascinates me how like people kind of fit into their roles and like, leverage their expertise. Was it a natural? Did you talk about it?
Yeah, I mean, it was somewhat natural at one point. I was like, hey, like it was just kind of like fill in the blanks when you're starting out and there's only two of you. You just like if you don't do it, then no one's gonna do it. Kind of is my logic. So it's like I'll just do whatever I can, and then hopefully and hope the other person fills in the blanks. And if you're really working on the same page, and I'm trying to do 60% of the work, and she's trying to do 60% of the work, it just kind of works together. Another thing too is like you just ask for help when you need it. When I'm struggling, I'll let her know, and she's trustworthy enough, and I know that she'll save me or help me out in that way. The only thing we ever talked about was I was like, I want to do more of the high level, like overarching thinking, and I wanted her to help me out with more of the day-to-day stuff, which works really well in my mind because like a much bigger picture thinker, and I fail at like doing stuff on a daily task. And then she kind of helps out doing the more like day-to-day tasks and helping me execute some ideas that I have.
Excellent. Right on, man. Awesome. Awesome. That actually sounds it's so important, right? To get a good partner when
Yeah,
you're doing any kind of
absolutely.
venture. It doesn't matter what it is, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
'Cause
feel
you
like I
kind of,
can't trust most people, and I have like this concept of those like there's doers and then there's like not doers, and finding a doer is really hard. Like there's not that many people out there, and Tiffany's one of the few people where I'm like, let's do this thing, or will you do this thing, or can you do this thing, and then
right.
she'll actually do it. She'll actually follow through. Not many people are reliable enough to actually follow through when you ask them to do something, and especially if it's not for in their best interest. Like, will you do this thing? I need you to do it, and she does it, and it's like, okay, she's a doer. So, like I said, I think they're in the minority, and it's hard to find those people. But when you do, like, lock in on them.
Amen, brother. I tell you, amen to that. I've started ventures with people who I thought were the doers, and it turned
Yeah.
out they weren't the doers. They were the talkers. And so I've kind of like, refined my bullshit meter a little bit
Yeah.
as
Yeah.
I've
Absolutely.
gotten older and gone through life. But it's so important, right? And you know what it is? It's about trust.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
all about it's earned trust, man. Yeah.
Exactly. I'll ask someone to do something. I'm like, I just assume they're talkers. Like you said, like until they prove it to me the otherwise. Because otherwise, I just like, yeah, do that for me, and I just expect them
Yep.
to like fail. And then when they come through, then it's awesome, and then then you trust them more. But if they don't, then it's like, okay, we'll just stay friends and that kind of keep it there and not really move forward on any like serious stuff.
Yeah, and that's okay, right? Because it's like,
Yeah, yeah.
wait, what I'm doing, it may not be for everybody. And
It's
and
about
by the,
meeting expectations. Don't set them too high
yeah,
for someone who's not a doer, but also, kind of like once you match them, then you're happy with whatever relationship you're in with them.
absolutely, man. Yeah. And actually, what I found is when you ask somebody to do something and they're not they may not be a doer, but they may also not be able to do what I asked them to do, or they may need help or
Right.
whatever. And failure is okay. It's
Yeah,
how we
yeah.
learn. I failed plenty of times, but if it's just not working out, it's not working out, and it's good to separate, but still
Yeah, yeah.
maintain like a good relationship,
Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like
yeah,
if you
yeah,
can,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, totally.
That. I love that, man. I'm so glad you have that mindset. That's super
Hmm.
important. So I loaded up this YouTube video of you,
Oh,
and
this
it's
looks
only
really
15.
old.
It's super old. It's from like 2017, which is basically
Okay.
ancient in our world.
Yeah, yeah,
So
totally.
I'm gonna play the whole 15 seconds because this is an awesome video. I
Okay,
love it. It's
for
not
sure.
relevant for anyone anymore, but I love this video. All right, this is from
Okay.
their YouTube channel. Here we go.
We're Up Down Left Die and we're gonna be at NerdBotCon.
Come to booth M83 and play some video games with us.
Come play with us!
Play with us.
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 Play with us! Play with us!
Man, I forgot about that.
I saw that and I said, these people have lost their minds.
Oh,
These
absolutely.
people are nuts. I mean, look at this. I love that, man. I was like, I gotta talk to this guy. This
Such
is
a good
nuts.
frame to freeze on.
I thought so too. Let me give her a red tongue. Oh shoot, hold on, that was not good. Anyway, yeah, I just thought that was awesome. I'm like, what is going on here, you guys? Anyway, so that's maybe I shouldn't have shown what you look like in real life. Now people are
I
gonna
know.
chase
No,
you
it's
down on the
totally cool. I
streets,
mean,
right?
you know what? That's what I want.
All right, good. The fame monster. Oh
Exactly,
no.
exactly.
Oh no. Cool stuff, man. Let me change up the image here for you. So tell me about the channel. Like, where is it now? How's it doing? What do you guys got
Well,
coming up next?
yeah, like we're just like I said, we try to stream. When we started, we started days a week. At least when we were duo, we're like doing together, and we just kind of kept growing from there. Obviously, we're Twitch affiliate, which isn't too hard to get, but we're pretty proud of our viewership and our fan base.
Yeah,
We've
congrats.
expanded to almost streaming every night of the week now between the two of us. We still do Mondays and Thursdays. We've been doing Mondays and Thursdays since we started. We've only shifted by a half hour, so we've been like doing it for straight for like almost 2.5 years, barely missing any streams unless we were both sick or something like that. And that's really the cack of having two people, is that if she's sick, I take over. If I'm sick, she could take over. She could still stream. She streams on her. We're doing like Tuesdays and Wednesdays as our solo nights. I'm working on some code that I can't stream right now, so she's taking that over as like a creative stream that she's doing stuff. But we stream Monday through Thursday with a community movie night, which is also a podcast on Fridays, and then Sundays I do mixed reality VR, particularly Beat Saber.
Oh, right on. Awesome, man. So how you do the MR stuff? Like, what are you using?
I use Live, and I just upgraded to a GoPro Hero 7 Black camera, which is fantastic for that, and I highly recommend anyone that's trying to do mixed reality use a GoPro. It's just simpler and better.
Okay. I was actually looking. I don't have a GoPro. I'm like one of the few people on planet Earth without a GoPro. Yeah. And I've been looking at them, and man, that's an awesome camera. It's
pretty legit, especially for the price, because what we use for our stream is we use a Sony A5100. And it's great, but it's actually more expensive than a GoPro. And a GoPro is a little bit more versatile if you're like, I don't know what I need a camera for, and if you don't need it for like pictures, although I've seen great photography with GoPros. It's such a good camera to just like throw at your problem, and it kind of just fits for like majority of use cases. But specifically for Beat Saber or like MR, it has a really good FOV, which is pretty important when you want full body capture, which looks a lot better. It just has a pretty great wide angle that you wouldn't really get with a normal like DSLR or SLR or like mirrorless camera.
Yeah, field of view for everyone that doesn't know what FOV is. But yeah, I think everybody knows what a DSLR is. Let me explain that. That's cool. Are you a photographer?
I was like a hobbyist for a while. I got started in college with a Canon T2i, upgraded to a T3i for video. And then I kind of fell off because I hate editing photos. I like taking them, but I hate editing them. And then recently started getting back into it, picked up the Sony A5100, which is better in every single way than the Canon, basically. And it's just like a super good like travel camera. And I took some photos in Japan and that I'm sharing on my Instagram and stuff.
Right on, man. Awesome. Yeah, it's we'll have to talk about that next time you come on. I am addicted to photography. I recently got into it because I travel so much and I just needed something to like feed my soul and get me out of the freaking hotel room and like walking around besides going to dinners and drinks and stuff. So man, I'm so addicted. I love it.
The thing that has gotten me most back into it and like excited about photography again has been I just got a Pixel 3 XL. And that camera just like changed the way I look at like cell phone photography. Like the camera, those photos come out so sharp, they're so good. And then I edit them all in Snapseed, and that too, like using that is like a super high grade editing software versus like Instagram's filters. Like changed everything about my photography because it's more convenient, it's faster, it's easier for me, it's way more enjoyable. So that was like for me, like what's gotten me recently back into photography was just like having a really good cell phone camera. And like cell phone cameras are finally hit like a point where like it's kind of like the VR, like where it's going. It's like this is first gen. I hope it gets to third gen, and my cell phone camera is finally hitting like it's a few steps ahead. It's finally gotten to a point where it's like just mind-blowingly good.
I'm telling you, man. Yeah, like there's an Instagram called, I think it's iPhone only or something like that. It's super amazing shots. I mean, I don't know if there's anything like that for other phones. I guarantee you they are. I just don't know what they are. But yeah. Snapseed's awesome. Snapseed is good if you're looking for to up your Instagram game. That's great. I use Lightroom. I love it. Just because I have I have a creative cloud. Have you used Darkroom? Darkroom's great on Android phones, actually.
Oh, I haven't. I'll check that out.
Yeah, check it out. Yeah, it's cool, man. It's good. But yeah, anyway, we'll do a whole. You and I will do a whole thing on photography. So if you're a Shutterbug, be on the lookout. We'll do that for sure. So what are you playing now? Like, what do you guys? First of all, you guys got a ton of content, right?
Yeah. That's also the thing I love about Twitch is just like you're just creating content and you're having fun with it and it's live. And that's the thing. I used to do YouTube back in like high school, like with my like friends, and it was just kind of a fun thing. But I never really liked video editing because it was like you could film for 4 hours and then you have to edit for like 10. You know, it's like it's so hard to get that content pushed through the pipes. So our thing is, it's most of the content's live. We do put all the VODs on our YouTube, and then Tiffany's edits them sometimes when she has some free times. She'll edit whole like playthroughs down into like our highlights, which are absolutely hilarious. Like
Awesome.
I love her editing style, and I think she just makes like the funniest videos because these are over the span of months, and then she'll condense it down to like a 15-20 minute video, and I'm like, I don't even remember this, and it's just so funny to me. And I'm just like, these are the best parts. And we're kind of conceited where we watch our own stuff and laugh, but we're like, well, we find it funny, so we're at least creating content for us that makes us laugh, and we just hope other people join us on the ride. But yeah, our thing is just like we live stream, and we just do that, like we just love it, and we just put some stuff up on YouTube and stuff like that when we can. But our main content is live. But what we're playing right now is we kind of focus it to like each day of the week is a different game, like different game. So it's kind of like a TV channel. So like like you might watch Game of Thrones on Mondays and whatever on Tuesday, and like so our Mondays are right now are I don't even remember. Oh, we're doing Near Automa. Tuesdays, Tiffany's playing through every single Kingdom Hearts. She's been doing that for like forever, I feel like now. Yeah, she's trying to get all the way up to Kingdom Hearts 3, which she beat on her own, but she's gonna play that on live on stream. Wednesdays, like I said, I think she's trying to commit to doing cosplay. Yeah, she's killing it too. She's definitely picking up my slack on the streaming side. She streams 4 nights a week now with me. And Thursdays are Cuphead. We're trying to get through that, which again, Tiffany, I would argue that I'm better at video games than her, but she's totally carrying me through Cuphead. She's like somehow like way better than me at Cuphead. It's hilarious how badly I'm just like, okay, you beat the boss, and I'll sit here.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Yeah, the boss fights, those are always tough.
Yeah. And then Sundays are Beat Saber, like I said. So that's my VR focused night is Sunday, but I'm just addicted to Beat Saber just like everyone else, and I do it for a cardio workout. So that's just my thing is I'll just play that for 4 to 8 hours, just going at it.
I've been working out a lot in my Oculus Go, a lot. Now it's only 3 degrees of freedom. It looks ridiculous when I record them here, because it says 3 degrees of freedom. But I was going to try like working out legitimately in my Vive, but the controllers, the cord, it was it's like So how is it doing that in Beat Saber? Because people are losing like crazy calories. It's a calorie burner.
Yeah, there's another streamer I know. He said he lost like 50 pounds because all he does, he's focused. He's a primarily Beat Saber streamer, and he's like, I lost 50 pounds and went down like a bunch of pant sizes. So like I get that, because to me it's like about like it's the addiction to like not wanting you're tired but you want to keep playing, versus when you're at the gym you're not tired and you want to stop. Like, so it totally hacks your brain and makes you want to do it. In the Vive it's all right. The Vive is a little heavy, in given the technology. It like hopefully in the future they'll be a lot lighter. I have the Vive and Chill fans, which are just basically tiny little fans that stuck to the top, and that definitely helps a lot. But yeah, for me, it's the cable. I always step on the cable. That's the worst thing about it, is like you could step on that and totally just slam your face into the wall. It's just so dangerous.
Oh yeah, it's like having a long ponytail, like an like that's like filled with electrons.
Yeah. And I'm always like, I'm gonna step on that, slam into the wall, shatter the Vive, and like break my nose all at the same time. Like I'm just scared of it. I'm just so like, can we get rid of the wires already? Like, and like not for $300 either.
We will. I mean, it's just
soon.
Yeah, it's soon. It's coming for sure. I mean, people are working really hard on that. But I agree with you, man. It's like, honestly, that's why I don't work out in my Vive or
I
Rift
wouldn't. I probably wouldn't either if it wasn't a stationary game. And that's for me too. Like VR is the best when it's room scale, but that's it. It's just the room where you're physically walking around. Like, to me, those are the best VR experiences. And Beat Saber like really leverages that by just having you stand in mostly the same place. And to me, those are the games that for me are the best ones. No teleportation, no locomotion. Just let me walk around in the space that I already have. And those are the most comfortable experiences. So, if you get rid of the wires and I could just spin around, like you've got a killer. You already got a pretty nice game going.
Yeah. I mean, they have wireless controllers for the Vive. I've never tried them. I don't know, what the latency is like on those things. But
I heard it's good. It's just like the battery life is short and it's $300, and I'm like, that's almost half the price of the headset. So I'm like, just drop it to like if it's under like 200, I'll buy it like almost like 150 is like the sweet spot for me. I'm like sold on 150, but 300 is a bit pricey for tech that needs line of sight. Only has like a 2-hour battery life, which is shorter than my stream. And that's already the issue too. My Vive controllers always died too fast already. So it's like anything with the battery that has a really short battery life is like. That's really holding VR back as well.
Yeah, I hear you, man. It is all about the battery. Maybe Elon's battery company, aka Tesla, will solve that. But yeah, hopefully. But that'll be interesting anyway. Anyway, you got me the crickets churning, but that's cool. So so I used to game a lot actually. And one of the things I played was Call of Duty. Loved it, kind of old school. I really love those games. Good friend of mine, Chance Glasgow, co-founder of the company, was of our company that I own. But anyway, he co-created Call of Duty. He was a co-founder of the company. And yeah, I mean, he did that.
That's pretty crazy. That's awesome.
It's nuts. Yeah, he's like the Pope. Like anytime we go anywhere, he's like just gets like flooded and crowded with people. And I get pushed to the side, and people are like, "Who are you?" I don't care. Let's see you. Bye. And so yeah, anyway, I'll meet you at the hotel later on, like in 6 hours. But he's a good dude, crazy, good, cool. He's going to be on the podcast talking about that. But I stopped playing actually because I literally gained so much weight. And there's a photo of me when we got invited to go to the VR VCA event in Beijing in China. And I was like, Jesus Christ, I am a fat bastard. Like I just I was so out of shape. I'm like, okay, no more. So now I I completely just stopped. Totally stopped gaming, started working out like crazy. And but there's games like Onward and Beat Saber and like kind of get you. That's what I love about VR, right? It gets you up, gets you moving.
Yeah,
you're not sitting down in a chair. Yeah. So I look relatively close to my avatar, although I mean this dude is far more attractive than I am in real life. But I'm close. So no chin fat anymore. Like I feel better about myself. Yeah, I feel better. But it's like that's why I love those games, right? They're calorie burners. I mean, getting people up and healthy. I think it's awesome. I'm so excited about that part of it because we're entering into this new world, right? Yeah, you kind of
if you ever get those like running in place, Ready Player One style things too, like where like if you are playing like a Call of Duty like that and you're running and you're tired, like I'd love to see that affect you in games. So the people who are more in shape could run longer, have an advantage, because then it's like this weird like you bring real life stats into the game, and it's kind of an interesting thing. Yeah, it's not as even of a playing field, but that should also encourage you to try to like build your own performance. Like you are your own character at that point, which would be like crazy. And like I don't like running, but a game that I'm addicted to that's like Beat Saber might get me into running if I keep getting too tired to run, Like it might hack me into trying to be an endurance runner, which would be like the most insane idea to me because I don't like running. I skip it every time at the gym.
Yeah, because you hate running, man. Yeah, I'm telling you, I'm with you. I mean, preach the word, my brother. I love that. I am so down with that. And we're headed there for sure. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. And especially with like esports. Esports is crazy big. It's so exciting what's happening right now in esports. Imagine what's next, right, with VR and esports.
Because we're gonna have like esports athletes, like the marriage of video games and like football players, and it's gonna be the weirdest thing too. Because you'll probably have people on your team who are like, I don't know anything about video games, but I just run. And that guy's just like the runner. And then you have the guy who's like, well, I'm not fit, but I'm the intellectual guy, So if you have a game that's kind of like this weird League of Legends mishmash where like the young kid is the quick thinker, but he's not very fast. And then you have the really athletic bro dude who's just there to drive the ball into the end zone or something like that. And you'll have such a weird dynamic of the team because you'll need all these different components to play the game. It would be insane. It'll take over every single sport, I'm sure. Like I just can't imagine something that crazy.
I mean, that's real life, right? Like you said, like, hey, maybe someone's a better runner. It's not an even playing field. Life is not an even playing field. So that's what excites me. I love that idea, man. I love that. It's like, we're going to get this great team together. We've got someone who's, good at thinking. We've got someone who's good at athletics or whatever it is, right? Yeah. And just kind of have that good cohesive team marriage where they're all functioning as like 3, 5, 7 people functioning as one unit.
You could actually give them abilities that like make that like a real thing versus like football, baseball, real sports. Like you're just limited to like the physical world. But like you could have the person who's not fast, give them a completely different role where they don't need to use their like speed or anything like that. That just changes the game. Maybe they have special abilities or whatever. Like that's what's cool about video games. That in the beginning, right? Like that we could do stuff that we couldn't do in real life, and just that's what's exciting to me is like seeing that kind of become a thing.
For sure, man. The team concept, right? Like you're talking about that earlier, right? Like you find people you gel with, and you can accomplish amazing things. Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I'm down with you on that, man. That's great. This is cool, man. I'm really glad you came on. I don't even know what time. Well, let me check my watch. It hasn't been that long, maybe 30 minutes or so.
Cool.
Yeah. It's gone by fast. Jeez, awesome.
Yeah, that's how it always feels.
Is that how it is when you're streaming? You're like, geez, where'd the time go?
Yeah, if we're having a blast, I'll look down and 2 hours are gone because we only stream for like 3 hours because we both have jobs. So we try to fit in right after work. We play until like we pretty much have to like cut it because otherwise we need to wake up and all that stuff. And so we only do like 3 hours at a time. And so it's like fun games, like 2 hours goes by and we're like, oh, we have an hour left. It's just so fast.
It goes by quick, man. It's awesome. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like you're doing something you love that time just gets away from you, which is pretty great. Absolutely. Pretty good place to be in life, actually. So congrats to that. Yeah, good job, man. So I don't want to take up your whole night, but one thing I like to do on this is super casual, is just ask people, do you have anything that you would like to tell people, hey, look, this is what you need to embrace and this is what you need to avoid? It could be an app, could be a game, could be a burrito. I mean, whatever, right?
Oh man, that's a hard question. That could be who? I have no idea.
Brain.
Yeah, because it's like in what concept? I mean, like, I guess something really like good. I would say is everyone should get on board with Signal from Whisper app. Is a text messaging app, but it's super secure. Protect your privacy. Not enough people use it. That's the biggest problem that I have. If you use WhatsApp, like that's also pretty good, but this is completely a non-profit. It's really good because a lot of people are like, oh, I use iMessenger, but that's only for iOS. Signal is desktop. It's desktop. iPhone, Android. It works with all of them. And you could type on your computer if you're on your computer, and then with that, if you're that's good for privacy. It's end-to-end encryption. If you're still concerned with privacy, also check out Brave browser. That's also a really good browser for privacy.
Brave browser.
Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, that's really good, man. I would say you knocked that out of the park, dude.
Yeah.
It's just like where'd that ball go? You just like that is a great recommendation.
Privacy is always something, right? Like that's always a good thing to help people out with. I know a lot of people are like worried about that kind of stuff, and I love Signal myself, and I wish more people use it. So because it'll fall back to SMS, but if you know someone else that has it, then you guys both get upgraded to like data messaging.
Cool, awesome, man, awesome. Anything to avoid?
Oh man, avoid? I don't. That's a hard question. I wouldn't. I don't know
what to say
about that.
Burritos before a job interview.
Probably.
Always a good one.
Yeah.
Cool, man. Hey, dude, I gotta tell you, Jared, it's been amazing. Really, really good time. Super, super fun. Please come back and let's continue this discussion.
Yeah. Anytime, man. Invite me back. I'm here.
Right on. Here, let me give you a high five. Cheers, bud. Awesome. Or whatever that is. Sword fight?
Here we go.
See you, bud. Awesome, man. Awesome.
All right.
Good stuff, brother. Awesome. See you, man. Thank you for coming on.
For sure.